Hello everyone, this is Elise from Jersey Cares Health in the Community coming back to you about our gardening workshop part 2. So today we'll talk about maintaining our garden. Last time I spoke to you, I was putting together my own garden and planting all of them for the season. Now we're going to talk about what happens after that and how to maintain it over the summer. So it's week 3 and now we're going to water a little less frequently, about 3 or 4 times a week. And just every day, check the soil to make sure it's moist. And don't forget that if it rains, Mother Nature did the work for us. So this is week 3 of what my garden looked like, a little bit taller than originally planted, and everyone's heading in the right direction. So even though our bigger plants like eggplant, tomato, peppers, that they're not ready to go yet, but herb plants are ready to use sooner. So here's a refreshing water tip that I've been using these past few weeks. Fresh mint leaves and lemon slices I've been adding to my cold water for a summer refreshing drink. Try it out. Alright, fast forward to week 4. We're going to continue that watering pattern of 3 or 4 times a week. And now that our plants have been in there for a little bit, you may notice that your garden is starting to sprout some weeds. And we have to pick those out. They're going to overtake our garden and take away nutrients from our plants. And also, an option is that some of our plants may need a little extra support. So I put a cage around my tomato plant to make sure it grows up straight and that it doesn't overtake the rest of the garden, because plants need their own room to grow. So you see on the left is my cucumber plant and on my right is my mint plant. This is week 4, eggplant leaves are getting bigger and basil becoming taller and fuller. And these basil leaves are ready to add to your favorite dishes like tomato sauce. And when you're adding them to your tomato sauce, add them in at the very end. And then also toward midsummer, the plants will start producing flowers. If you're growing basil to eat, pinch off these flowers as they form to encourage leafy growth instead of flower growth. You'll see what I mean as we go throughout the summer. And here is that cage I was talking about for my tomato plant. The cage allows tomato plants to spread upwards as they grow, and you can arrange the tomato plant within the cage to have the best support. The stakes of the cage go around the plant and then you place it firmly into the soil so that wind or bad weather doesn't move it. So I was talking about those pesky weeds that are going to start growing up. It's important to get rid of these because they rob your soil and your plants of important nutrients and water for themselves. So we need to pluck them out of our garden. They also take up growing space and they could attract pests for your garden. We don't want that either. So remove the weeds by taking them up from their roots. Make sure you get the plant. Don't just rip off the leaves. You have to rip off the whole plant and you'll see it has a little root underneath it. We got to get rid of the whole weed. Moving on to week 5. So we continue to care for our garden by watering when necessary and removing weeds as they appear. Now the maintenance is kind of slowing down and you're letting your garden flourish on its own. So here's my strawberry plant. Like most fruits, strawberries come from the delicate flowers that each strawberry plant produces. So when you see these little flowers on your strawberry plants, they will harvest into our strawberries in a few weeks. And you can see here's my cucumber plant and it's getting a lot bigger. It's a vine crop, so they require a lot of space. That's why I put the mint plant next to it because those usually just grow straight up. And whereas the cucumber plant is going to take up a lot of low growth. So here's week 5 of the rest of my garden. See back here is my eggplant with those big leaves. In front of it, the basil. On my right side, we have back here my strawberry plant. You see my flower from here. From the strawberries, we have the green pepper. And then all the way over here, we see that the tomato plant is starting to fill up around the cage. So let's learn a little bit more about some of the plants that we are growing. Spotlight on tomato. Tomato plants grow from seeds. The same seeds are inside the tomato. So actually that makes tomato a fruit, not a vegetable. The reason that tomato is a fruit is because they have seeds inside them, like apples, oranges, lemons, and all those other types of fruit. And tomatoes are used in so many of the favorite things we like to eat. If it weren't for tomatoes, we wouldn't have pizza sauce, spaghetti sauce, salsa, ketchup, tomato soup, or taco sauce. And side note, tomatoes are full of vitamins, so they not only taste good, but they're good for you too. Spotlight on eggplant. Summer is a growing season for eggplants because they need those hot temperatures to grow. They have a short growing season and can be harvested about 60 days after planting. Eggplants contain 95% water, and 50% of the volume is just air. Eggplant you can make fried, sauteed, grilled, or baked. And that dark purple color gives them plenty of antioxidants. Antioxidants are good for us because it protects the cells in our body from damage and disease and helps our bodies stay strong and healthy. And let's spotlight on basil. So basil is an herb of the mint family, and remember that herbs are ready to use in our garden sooner than our fruits and vegetables. There are many different types of basil, but I am growing sweet basil, which is the most popular used for cooking. Herbs like basil are used to add flavor to many dishes, such as tomato sauce, salads, or sprinkled in our vegetables. It has plenty of vitamins like vitamin K, vitamin A, and is a great source of calcium. And in recipes, it's good to add them in at the last moment to get the most flavor out of them. So thanks for checking in on my garden today. I will check back in with you in a few weeks to show you further growth, and hopefully by then I will have some food to show you from my plants. In the meantime, take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.